So let make a simple program to understand like what is the input function, what is how the if else statements are being used in the general daily life, right? So let's make a one small code for the email validator. So what is the email validator means? Suppose you are having some email id like abc@gmail.com, or any domain id you are having. I'm using the email one. You have to check like whether the given id, given mail id is correct or not by using python, so that user can decide whether to use that mail id for the further action or not. Let's suppose you are having huge set of gmail id or the domain id, and you have to segregate like which one is correct and which one is not correct. At that time we can use this one. So how actually we will do this one? So let's start like we'll start writing our code. Okay, so once we start writing our code, we will ask user for the input like enter your mail id, correct? After entering a mail id, what component we have to check? In the mail id we are having name, we are having at the rate, and we are having domain name, then we are having dot, and then we are having com. This is the main component we are having in the mail id. So we will check like we will check whether in the particular mail id at the rate symbol is present or not. If the at the rate symbol is not present, if it is no, then means it is an invalid email id. Okay, and if it is yes, means at this point of time this is the valid email id. But we have to check more things. Then what we are having something we call as a dot. Okay, this dot we are having, this one. So we will check if there is a dot or not, correct? If the dot is not present, again if dot is not present, means this is the invalid mail id. Okay, invalid mail id. If dot is present, then at this point moment of time this is a mail, this is a valid email id. Then we will check, does it start with the at the rate, correct? It may, email id may start, the incorrect email id may start like at the rate abc.gmail.com. This manner you can start. Okay, so we can check like whether there, at the start there is a at the rate or not. So if it is at the start there is a at the rate, then definitely it is a invalid id. Okay, and if there is no, there is a no at the rate at the start, means this is a valid, then it is a valid id. One more checklist we can add, like does it start with the dot? See here I am just taking some examples. We can add much more condition. If it is starting with the, let's suppose dot abc at the rate gmail.com, then also it is a invalid id, correct? So if there is a in the start there is a dot, if yes, then it is a invalid id, and if it is no, means it is a valid id. So whatever we have learned here in this flow, let write everything in the code. Okay, we'll start with the starting, then we will ask user to give the input, then we will check whether there is at the rate present or not, then we will check whether dot is present or not, and so on. We'll check everything. So let's start coding, correct? So I will create a new notebook first of all. Then first what I will ask my user is, first I will make an one variable as the email. Okay, and then I will use a input function. This input function is an inbuilt function of the python. We can ask by using this function we can ask user to give the input. So I can write like enter the email id, because we are checking for the email id, correct? So if I'm using the quotation over here, that means I can write anything inside a quotation as per my requirement. So I'm writing now, right now here is enter the email id. Then what I will do is I will add a one column here. Okay, now let's write each condition. Like first condition, what, like we are checking the whether there is a at the rate in the mail id or not. So what I will write is, if the mail id is having at the rate, okay, where in the email, because this is the email id, we are going to store all email id in this variable. So what I will write is, if at the rate in the email id, first of all, that means it is a valid email id, correct. Second, I will check if the dot in the mail id, okay, in the mail id, then also it is correct. The third condition we have checked, whether there is a dot or not, whether there is a at the rate at the start of the our code. If I check this one, correct. So what I will check is, if my this email id at the first location means, at the first location means 0, okay. So if 0 is not equal to at the rate, correct, so that means it is a valid id, it is not equal to, correct. Then again I will check if my email id at start of the condition is not equal to, it is it don't have the dot at the start of the mail id, then that's mean it is a valid id, correct. This is what we have checked, this condition, the four condition. So if all condition, this, if this is no, if this is yes, this is yes, this is no, this is no, means it is a valid id, correct. So let me write this one, correct. So what I will write is, print valid email id, correct. But if it is not there, if something like at the start I am having at the rate, at the start I am having dot, or I don't have at the rate in the email id, or at the dot I don't have in the email id, means it is a invalid id. So what I will write is, the for the first, then in the reverse, if there is a dot at the start, means it is a invalid id. So I will write invalid id, email id, correct. Then again I will then there will be a three condition, correct. There will be a total, again there will be a, I will take the three condition in the backward direction, correct. So what I will write is, for this one, else print invalid id. Again I will write else invalid id. At the last I will write else invalid id. This is the flow I am having, because I am having 1 2 3 4 4 checklist I am having, that's why there will be a 4 at the else, 1 2 3 4, okay. So let me run this one. So what is asking, name email id is not defined now, because we haven't entered any email id over here. So let me enter the email id. So I am taking the input from the user. Let me run this one. So let me write abc@gmail.com. So this abc@gmail.com, starting, it is having at the rate, yes. It is there is dot in the mail id, yes. At the first location I am having at the rate, no. At the first location I am having dot, no, means it should be a valid it should be valid email id. So let me check the output. Let me run this one. It is a valid id, correct. So let me write this line of the code inside this one only, and so that we don't have to run the code two times. So let me enter this one. Now it is asking the input. Now let me enter like at the, now if I am writing like at the rate gmail.com. Suppose anyone have forgot to mention their the first name, so it should be invalid, correct. Let me run this one. So it is invalid id. If I am writing like dot abc@gmail.com, even though there is a dot in the starting, there is a at the rate in between, there is a dot, but we don't want this dot at the start of this location, so it will become an invalid id, correct. If I am checking like abcd @gmail.com, so definitely it will give a valid number, it is a valid id, correct. Okay, by using this all the things, we can make a email validator. Here we have written the small codes. We can implement this code by using pandas. We can import the csv, and we can check the whether this email id in the csv are valid or not. It looks simple, but when it is a big data set, and when you have to do some kind of the validation into your database, then it is very important.